So the Imam, he says, hunting in the sanctuary of Mecca is impermissible, and its ruling is like hunting while in ihram. So you can't hunt in the sanctuary of Mecca whether you're making Hajj or not. Whether you are in ihram or not, because it is a sanctuary, you cannot hunt on those sacred grounds. And if you do hunt, then the ruling is like hunting while in ihram, and basically you have to offer some type of penalty. It says the following are impermissible to cut. So if you visit the Holy Land, the sanctuary of Mecca, you can't cut trees, you can't cut grass. Even if there are thorny stickers or branches or thorny grass, which could perhaps even cause harm to you, it cannot be cut. And you cannot cut the siwak. You know the siwak, it comes from a tree, and that tree is found plentiful in the desert. If it's found in the sanctuary, it cannot be cut down, etc. So you can't cut any of these living things down. He says, and leaves. You can't take the leaves off trees or pluck them. But not dried leaves, something that is dried out. Sweet grass, truffles, mushrooms, fruit, those are all things that are permissible to pluck and to take. And whatever is planted by man, including other trees. So if there was someone that went and cultivated the land within the sanctuary to grow vegetation, to grow trees, or whatever, that's traditionally impermissible to take because he put it there, man put it there, it's permissible to reap the fruits of that harvest. It says it is permissible to pasture its grass and benefit from what has died or broken without human interference, even if it is not completely separated. So essentially here what it means is that pasturing the grass means the animals that you bring into the sanctuary, they can eat from the grass. And this was what happened during the life of the Prophet ﷺ and thereafterwards, when they brought their sacrificial animals, whether they were cows, camels, goats, or sheep, they brought them with them for Hajj. While they were in the sanctuary, they did not muzzle them, meaning they did not tie their mouths closed, but they allowed them to roam and to eat from the grass within the sanctuary. This is different than going and cutting the grass and bringing it to feed the animals. Okay, so one is allowed, whereas the other one is not. And then he says anything that's broken or died, you can benefit from that so long as you haven't broken it yourself or killed it. Even if something's hanging from the tree, it's broken off, but it's just kind of dangling there by a thread, you can go ahead and pluck it and benefit from it. And those would be like any wood that you need perhaps to burn or to fashion something, as they used to in the past, used to fashion saddles and different things they need for living. It says a small tree, based on custom, what's considered a small tree, warrants a sheep. What is larger warrants a cow. So if you do go trimming trees, then this is the penalty. A choice is made between that, meaning the obligatory sacrifice for trimming the trees down, and its estimated value, which you can offer as the penalty instead, the price of which is treated like the recompense for hunting. So remember, we took the money from hunting and then we purchased food and then we distributed the food. And grass as well, if you cut the grass, it warrants its market value. So if you are trimming the grass for perhaps your livestock, then you have to get the market value and you have to distribute that. He says it is disliked to move dirt and rocks, but not Zamzam, from the sanctuary to non-sacred land. Right? So while you're visiting Mecca, you don't go and take a little bit of the earth home with you, as if you're bringing some special prize home. It's disliked to do that, thinking that you're going to have a souvenir or you're going to have some barakah or whatever it may be. It's disliked to remove that. Of course, the Zamzam water you can take with you and you can take it around the world. It is recommended to reside in Mecca, which is more virtuous than Medina. So even though the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, he lived out his life there and passed away there, Mecca still does have a loftier position and more virtue. Both good and evil deeds are multiplied in virtuous places and during virtuous times. And this is kind of a reminder that both good and evil deeds, for those that are going to visit the sanctuary, whether they're making Hajj, whether they're making Umrah, that while you are there, you have to absolutely be on your best behavior. You should be increasing in good deeds to increase the reward and staying away from evil deeds, because the sin of it is greater in those special places, just like it is in special times, like in Ramadan, for example. Your reward is increased in Ramadan, but guess what? The sin of evil deeds is also increased during those times. He says it is impermissible to hunt in the sanctuary of Medina, much like Mecca. However, to cut its trees and grass is also impermissible except for need of fodder. So here you can go and cut some of the grass and things to feed your livestock, whereas in Mecca you cannot. And you can cut some of the trees if you need to fashion tools or you need to fashion things to make saddles, etc. And there is no recompense or penalty for doing such in Medina. And that's where we'll conclude.